Hello everyone, my name is Nicole, and today our group will be discussing the consumerism and happiness. Are we living in a material illusion? So, to begin, consumerism simply means a lifestyle where people constantly buy goods and services, usually beyond their basic needs. On the other hand, happiness is the feeling of satisfaction, peace, or joy that we experience in our lives. But in today's society, especially with social media and advertising, many people start to believe that buying more things will automatically make them happier. This creates the big question we want to explore today. Are we truly happy, or are we just chasing a material illusion created by society and the market? In this presentation, we will explore this issue from philosophical angles, Malaysian examples, psychological effects, and the possible outcomes.
My name is Chow Hing Tong, and I'm going to talk about epistemology. From the epistemology point of view, which study knowledge and how we know things, consumerism affects how we understand happiness. Today, what we think we know about happiness is strongly shaped by social media, influencer, advertisement, and the online marketplace. We constantly see people who look happy just because they own the newest phone, trendy clothes, or luxury items. So, epistemology asks us to question this. Do we really know what happiness is? Or are we accepting the version of happiness the media creates for us? Sometimes we believe is knowledge is actually an illusion shaped by marketing, influencing our belief and our ideas of happiness without us noticing.
Hi, my name is Lee Xingtian and I'm going to talk about metaphysics. From a metaphysical perspective, we study the nature of realities. We explore what true happiness actually is. Is happiness something we can get from physical object, or is it something internal like peace, meaning, and connection? Many people believe that buying new things will fill their emotional gaps in their life. But in realities, material comfort is temporary. Once the excitement disappears, we return to the same emotional states. So metaphysically, we can say that material happiness is not fully real. It's only a short-term illusion.
From ethics perspective, we ask whether consumerism is morally right or wrong. Excessive consumerism encourages waste, pollution, and unhealthy spending habits. It makes people focus on status instead of values like kindness, respect, or responsibility. Ethically, we should question whether it is right for society to promote the idea that our worth comes from the things we own. It also impacts the environment because fast fashion and overconsumption increases waste. So ethically, I believe consumerism creates a moral problem and it pushes people to value material success over meaningful living.
In Malaysia, consumerism is growing rapidly, especially through online shopping platforms like Shopee and TikTok Shop. Flash sales such as 99, 1010, and 1111 have become major events where many Malaysians buy things just because they are discounted and not because they truly need them. Another trend which has become increasingly popular is the buy now pay later trend. It encourages people, especially youths and students, to spend money they do not have, leading to impulse buying and financial strain. This shows that consumerism is not just a global issue, it is actively shaping the lifestyle of many Malaysians today, influencing how we spend, what we value, and even how we define convenience and happiness in our everyday lives.
Hi, my name is Eun Taijing, and now I am talking about youth pressure. Another issue in Malaysia is the pressure to look wealthy or trendy. Many young Malaysians feel the need to own the latest iPhone, branded clothing, or luxury products because of social comparison. This creates unnecessary financial pressure, especially for students or young adults who are just starting out. Because of this material pressure, some people fall into debt or unhealthy financial habits simply to maintain a certain image online. This show how consumerism controls our identity and choice.
Hello, my name is Tan Ting Yu and I'm going to talk about psychology. So, psychologically, consumerism affects the way of our brain works. When we buy something new, we get a short burst of dopamine, which makes us feel excited and happy. But this feeling fades quickly. This is called the hedonic treadmill, where we keep wanting more and more just to feel the same level of happiness. This cycle creates stress, emptiness, and comparison with others. So, in the long run, consumerism does not give real happiness, it is only temporary stimulation.
Hello, so my name is Yahya, and today we're going to talk about whether our desires are controlled or actually warranted. Now, in our day and age, we can notice that our desires are shaped by what society dictates rather than by our actual needs. In other words, consumerism is slowly taking away our ability to think critically. So instead of asking, do I need this? We usually ask, will this make me look better? Or will people consider me more successful if I had it? Now, philosophically speaking, this shows that many people don't live with a self-awareness. In other words, will trends, sales, and achievements take control our desires. Now, if we don't stop and question our choices, we may end up living a life built on illusion rather than genuine meaning.
So, for us to break out of this material illusion, we need to practice mindful living. So, the first illusion is mindful spending, where we need to think before we buy something. Second is to practice minimalism, where we buy our own needs, not our wants. Third is to practice financial literacy, where we educate ourselves on money. Lastly, is to rely more on experiences rather than objects.
Conclusion, modern society is heavily influenced by consumerism, and many people believe that buying more will make them happier. But as we have discussed, this happiness is often temporary and controlled by external influences. Real happiness comes from meaning, purpose, values, and connection, not from material objects. So yes, many of us are living in a material slave illusion that challenges us to raising us from it and to choose one meaningful life. Thank you.